Budget estimates is a process each year where members of the Legislative Council question ministers and departmental officials on the government's spending, policies and programs. It is a key mechanism whereby the upper house holds the executive government to account for its actions. Budget estimates is not only an excellent opportunity for members to gather information, it also places ministers and public servants on notice that their decisions and actions may be questioned publicly, and therefore places front of mind the need to fully document and be able to justify their advice to government.
It's called budget estimates, but I learned pretty quickly that it's not just about the budget papers, it's really about your portfolio. And as a minister, it's like a 4-hour verbal exam on any part of my portfolio, but it's also a great opportunity, I think, as a minister to be able to explain the really important work that you're doing and why you're doing it.
Many Australian parliaments hold budget estimates inquiries. However, it is a distinctive feature of estimates in New South Wales that all ministers, even those who sit in the Legislative Assembly, including the Premier, appear as witnesses. Budget estimates hearings are usually held 3 times a year. In a typical year, the initial round is held in August-September, the supplementary round in December, and the additional round in February-March. Each of the Legislative Council's 8 portfolio committees examines the budget and related papers for its assigned portfolios. For example, Portfolio Committee number 2 examines the health portfolio, while Portfolio Committee number 6 is responsible for transport. The budget estimates process gets underway when the Treasurer releases the budget papers.
I commend the bills to the House.
These documents set out the government's projected revenue, expenses and infrastructure investment for the upcoming financial year. Next, the Legislative Council passes the Budget Estimates Resolution, which sets out the rules for the inquiry, including opposition and crossbench members have equal time for questions. All hearings must be held in public, and members can submit supplementary questions to witnesses requiring written answers. The Budget Estimates Resolution also sets out the hearing schedule. Each portfolio is examined in the initial and additional rounds, which host around 24 hearings across 12 days. The committee decides on which ministers and department officials they want to give evidence. The committee secretariat will then liaise with the minister's office. Once the witness lists are finalised, the secretariat will publish the hearing schedule on the website. This may happen only a few days ahead of the hearing. At the conclusion of the additional round of hearings, each committee prepares a report, which is then published on the website. The reports must also be tabled by the date stated in the Budget Estimates Resolution, usually the end of the financial year. Budget estimates hearings are held in public and live-streamed on the Parliament's website. The hearing starts with the chair of the committee making a brief opening statement. The chair then swears in the witnesses. The minister doesn't take an oath or an affirmation, as they have already taken an oath of office as a minister. Unlike hearings for other inquiries, witnesses cannot make an opening statement. This means that the hearing moves quickly into a question and answer session.
Budget estimates is one of the most important opportunities that we have as members of the Legislative Council to shine a light on things that the government is doing or not doing, to demand that transparency, that accountability from executive government on behalf of the communities that we represent. I think it's really important for us to be able to have that really in-depth examination of issues. Budget estimates is that particularly back and forth process where we can actually respond to an answer and ask follow-up questions.
Hearings can often be robust, as members make the most of this opportunity to question ministers and other officials. Members have wide latitude to ask questions, which often extend well beyond the matters in the budget papers.
Yeah, it's just been reported there's NAPLAN test chaos after a widespread tech issue. Did you have prior notice of this tech issue?
Generally speaking, a witness can answer a question as they see fit. However, This is balanced by a requirement for an answer to be directly relevant to a question. A witness may take a question on notice if they are unsure of an answer. A witness may also object to answering a question. For example, department staff may object if they are asked for their opinion on the merits of a government policy. This is because it is ministers who are responsible for government actions or decisions. Witnesses or committee members may request to provide or table documents during the hearing. These documents are usually published on the website. As set out in the Budget Estimates Resolution, the Minister is usually excused when the morning session concludes at lunchtime and department officials return for the afternoon session. Budget estimates hearings involve a lot of people. Each portfolio committee has 7 members. However, Legislative Council members who aren't on the committee can join a hearing and ask questions as a participating member. A member may also be replaced by a substitute member. This means the listed membership of a committee can look very different from those who attend the hearing. The committee sits around 3 sides of the hearing table. The chair sits in the middle and is responsible for maintaining order. The deputy chair sits to the left of the chair. The opposition and crossbench members sit to the chair's left. The government members sit to the chair's right. Ministers sit directly opposite the chair. Witnesses from their agencies, as well as other witnesses invited by the committee, sit on both sides of the minister. There's also a table for ministerial advisors directly behind the witnesses. These advisors may pass notes to the minister and other witnesses. The person on the chair's immediate right is the committee clerk. The clerk supports the chair with advice on procedural issues. They're also responsible for keeping track of question time. Generally, question time is divided between the opposition and crossbench. The Hansard team are also in the room to produce the transcript. The audio-visual team manage the broadcast and live stream. You can also see committee staff sitting off to the side to take minutes and otherwise support the committee. You may also see media representatives taking photos or filming. Last but not least, as budget estimates hearings are held in public, members of the public attend in the audience. There's plenty of follow-up after a budget estimates hearing. The transcript will usually be published on the website the morning after the hearing. A recording of the hearing will also be uploaded to the Parliament's YouTube channel. Members can lodge supplementary questions with the committee secretariat by 5 p.m. within 2 business days following the receipt of the hearing transcript. Once the supplementary questions have been received, the committee secretariat will send the Minister's office the uncorrected transcript for any minor corrections. The transcript will also be highlighted to show any questions taken on notice. In addition, the Minister's office will be sent any supplementary questions. Transcript corrections and answers to questions on notice and supplementary questions are due within 21 days. The Minister's office is responsible for liaising with witnesses and collating all the responses to questions taken on notice and supplementary questions. Once the answers have been provided to the committee, the Secretariat will circulate them to members and publish them on the website, except for any answers where confidentiality has been requested.
I think budget estimates is significant because it's an opportunity for the opposition particularly, but also the crossbench as well as government members to ask ministers anything at all that they want to ask them. And if you think about governmental systems around the world, I would say that it's a high degree of transparency. It's an opportunity for our ministers who are drawn from the Parliament and responsible to the Parliament to answer to the Parliament in a committee forum where for a sustained period of time they can be asked absolutely anything at all. And when you can be asked anything at all in a public forum that's broadcast to the state, there's nowhere to really hide, and there's some very effective questioners in our Parliament, in our upper house, who do a really good job of holding ministers to account.
Budget estimates isn't about trying to get that gotcha moment. Is actually about trying to get to the detail that you want. But also it's an opportunity to ask the government and the minister what they're doing, how they're spending that money, but also to ask the department, and particularly around forward planning. When they come in with, make their budgets, they look at it for the next 4 years, and this is an opportunity to delve specifically into those announcements and how money's been spent.
Visit the Parliament's website for further information about budget estimates, including the Budget Estimates Guide.